Welcome back to Binge Warmers. My name is Hopper.
Can I be Hopper?
No.
Oh, I'm
Only
Steven.
me.
Unfortunately, I am Steven.
Yeah, unfortunately. Hey, we got a good episode today. I'm going to say we're watching Ben 10. Obviously, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, tell us, hit the notey or whatever.
The notey.
Steven's drawing. You can imagine what Steven's drawing.
No.
Take 2 seconds. Think, what would Steven be drawing? That's what he's drawing. Anyway.
Yeah, we're talking about Ben 10.
Ben 10, comment question. What superheroes do you think would interact well with Ben? Like, I would love to see Spider-Man and Ben go.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Spider-Man and, like, 16-year-old Ben, probably.
Yeah.
More so than 10-year-old Ben. But, like, even, like, Shazam
Both
Ben.
of them be teenagers?
I know, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like Blue Beetle and Ben
Blue
hanging
Beetle
out.
would be sick.
Super sick. I think that's something I hope we get in the future. Is kind of some more Ben crossover stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's cool, though. Blue Beetle, imagine the Scarab trying to take control of the Omnitrix.
Oh, or could Ben, like, scan the Scarab and turn
When we
into
talked about it, it's not the same thing. The aliens that created the Scarab don't look like that. The Scarab is an it'd be like the Omnitrix trying to scan Iron Man to get the Iron Man suit. That's not how it works.
But it's interesting because, like, sometimes, like, think about Jury Rig. Well, you haven't seen Omniverse, but, like, think about just anything. Like Forearms. He gets synthesized with, like, the Olympian, armor or the Olympian clothes or whatever. It's clothes. I mean, it's different clothes. So, like,
that's just so he's clothed.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, how come they can't synthesize a Scarab?
Because it's not the same.
I know it's not the same, but
also wild that just Wrath doesn't have clothing.
he just rolls.
You tell me Wrath's been naked this whole time.
There's like kind of discourse in the fandom with like what the Omnitrix can and can't create.
Yeah.
But like Jury Rig, who I think you probably know from Ultimate Alien, like 1 or 2 episodes he's in there. He's essentially gray matter, but like unhinged.
Way cooler.
You think he's cooler than?
It's like a methed out gray matter.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like Junkyard.
He's like build, destroy.
Yeah.
He has like goggles and he has like a scarf. He has like all this different like supplemental
he's
clothing.
Like a little gnome, little rodent boy.
He's a gremlin. I think that's literally what he is. Anyway,
don't feed him at night.
So yeah, what superheroes do you think would mesh well with Ben Tennyson? I would love
to see the Blue Beetle.
Beetle. I think like all the kids that are like super young. Like
Robin.
the Titans. Yeah, that would be cool.
Oh, like the team up with the Titans would
be be awesome. Like they should have crossed over because the shows are running.
They definitely should have. Yeah, we saw Generator X ad. Well, yeah.
That's later. I mean, and those are both Man of Action properties, so. Makes a little more sense for them.
Yeah.
This is called The Galactic Enforcers, this episode.
Yeah. What a bunch of dorks, honestly.
Yeah, that Ben runs into an intergalactic team of super dorks.
Well, that's Ben for you. He's a super dork, if you ask Gwen.
Yeah, super dweeb.
Doofus head.
She says something, she's like, super stupid, or she says something like that.
She's over, like, writing her diary. Burned Ben today. High five.
He didn't give me any chocolate after I was very rude to him.
That's for real.
I yelled at him, and he didn't give me his chocolate. So stupid. We get the return of 6-6 in this episode.
Yes.
Pretty fun.
We get Technord.
No, this is Volcanus.
Oh, different. Volcanus. Yeah, you can tell they denoted it by giving him like a metal head. Also voiced by John DiMaggio.
The man, the goat.
The goat himself.
Goat legend.
Voices Jake from State Farm.
And Adventure Time.
Yeah.
He also, too, he's like most of the aliens going forward in like Alien Force and Omniverse.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
He's like Forearms. He's like, the dinosaur one, Humongosaur. He's like Humongosaur, and yeah.
Wow,
I mean, he like. I feel like down the line, you're like, is that John DiMaggio? Yeah, that's John. Like they really lean into John DiMaggio later on, but that's cool. I mean, he's a good voice actor. It's just when he's like
Forearms or Humongosaur better.
Oh, Forearms. Because Humongosaur's cool, but he can grow.
Yeah,
he uses it like twice and forgets to ever can grow.
Just Ultimate Humongosaur is so sick.
It's different though.
He's so sick.
We never saw an Ultimate Forearms.
Okay, Forearms or Ultimate Humongosaur.
I just love Forearms. Like he's so simple and sleek, and he's just cool.
He's just strong.
He's got that's all he needs. He's got the hands.
Strong.
He's got hands, boy.
4 of them.
Yeah, I mean we see him in this episode too. He's fighting Volcanus a little bit.
Yep.
Volcanus does this little like ground pound move. I think it might inspire Ben to do ground pounds later on. Are you sleepy? Am I boring you?
I don't know, man. I've just been yawning today. It's so funny. They come to Earth because they're looking for some ore. It turns out it's just iron. Like super rare, but Earth just
well, they
plentiful.
Say it's
bisinthium alloy.
Something, but it's like a common thing. They just find like a random
And so he comes down and he's like, give me that. And all the humans are just like, what? And he goes, oh, that didn't work? Let me smash the ground. This'll work.
And then Ben like goes forearms. They're kind of going at it. Pretty cool fight.
Yeah, I like the fight. The fights in this whole thing are really cool.
We see like a surprise attack from 6'6".
Yeah,
he comes out.
6'6" is super sick.
Oh yeah, super sick. Volcanus. We started this episode with Volcanus. He kind of like he bodies like a couple robots. Like he grabs one of their heads and crushes it. You know.
Yeah.
He does like the Qui-Gon Jinn like door slice thing.
Yeah.
But even though like the door gets sliced and then it just looks like the door falls apart and it's just Volcanus standing there looking dumb.
Yeah.
It's like for a frame or two, it just looks really funny.
Who do you think wins, Volcanus or Technorg?
Probably Volcanus because of his devious nature. I think Technorg,
I don't know. Technorg was pretty bloodthirsty before he was saved.
That's true. But he was forced into battle. I don't think he wanted a battle. Of course, he did have a big ball for a hand.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, the Galactic Enforcers come down.
They're kind of nerdy. I like their designs.
They're sort of.
You mentioned Ultranus.
Ultimos. Was that his name?
Ultimos.
It's Ultimos, Synapse or something.
And Tiny.
Synaptic and Ultimos. Yeah.
Why you have these two cool names and then, that's Tiny?
It's funny. I don't know. It's like Little
John. Call her like Madam Forearms.
Madam Arms.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Well, it kind of too. Like, I wonder if that's like her superhero name.
Dr. Quadopus.
Dr. Quadopus.
It's just forearms.
Oh no, I was thinking with the octopus guy. Their children will be Dr. Quadopus.
Oh yeah.
Look at the frontal lobes on that guy.
You've seen him for how long, and now all of a sudden you're noticing his frontal lobe?
Yeah, I do kind of like. I like to think that they maybe don't know each other very well. Like they just sort of started living, with each other eventually. I was going to mention the voice actress for Tiny because
she sounded familiar.
Do you know where she's from?
Give me a hint.
It's in Ben 10.
No, I don't.
She was like the female version of Diamond Head and Forearms.
Oh, she was.
Gwen's turn.
That's so true.
She's also Myax in The Secret of the Omnitrix.
Oh,
which is the Vilgax.
Yeah, the Vilgax lady. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
Myax,
my Ben 10
Vilgax,
lore sometimes.
You never know what people know. Yeah, I know. Ben too. He's like looking at a little manga.
Yeah, when the episode straight starts. Up just says manga.
Yeah.
It doesn't say It doesn't even say comic book. It's just manga.
It's black and white. The characters that like are in his fantasy look a little bit manga. Yeah. Like, they have big eyes and
Ultra Ben.
Ultra Ben is like Ben's fantasy character, like of himself. Which I don't know. Did you do that when you were a kid? Did you act like you were a superhero?
Oh, all the time.
Did you have like a specific like?
It didn't end
OC
when I was a kid
superhero?
Either, I'll tell you that right now.
I'm still a Ultra Stephen.
Yeah, I didn't have a superhero name. It evolved as I daydreamed, as a kid. And at first, it was just this magic jetpack that was also a backpack, and I had everything I needed. And
like
then
Dora?
It evolved. Yeah, it literally, I couldn't think in my head, creatively, I was limited. So It was literally the Dora backpack, but it was a jetpack, because that's where it started. Because I was like, people were, side note, this is nerdy of me, but I'm like, because, we had so many siblings. Of course, we watched Dora, but I'm like, they don't understand the applications of this backpack. You could be so much more. Like, I'd put some rockets on it. Yeah. You could go cross country and just pull out food as you need it. Pull out any weapon you want to fight them.
Is there more to it though? Like you have to like pick what you like. There's only a couple items or something you pick.
I think that's the Mouseketeil from.
Oh, maybe so. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen Dora.
I mean, I have younger siblings, so
that's true. Did you watch the Dora reboot thing they did? Like the live action thing?
No. Thankfully, I had already.
I know Danny Trejo is the monkey. That's like the funniest.
I moved out, so I didn't have to go.
Well, no, I think it's made for like people our age at that time.
Yeah.
So it would have been for like early 20s.
No,
people that
I definitely had a superhero fantasy as a kid, but it was all. I never had a name. I was just Steven,
I wanted to be I had like an X-Men fantasy where I was like a crab man. Like I was half man, half crab.
Well, like fully one half.
No. I was like a crab hybrid kind of guy.
Oh, okay. It'd be cool.
My name was just
if you had like 2 legs here, claw.
I think my name was like the Clawberer or something.
The Clawberer.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
I like that.
But it's spelled CLAWBER or whatever. It was sort of like the Thing. I think it was just the Thing, but he was a mutant from X-Men.
Did you enact these daydreams with your brother?
No, I don't think so.
Me and my brother would pretend to be Pokemon.
Oh.
And fight each other.
That's pretty cool.
But we'd always do, to make sure we like lived or whatever, you know how they dodge it? We would say, shield, bounce off. And then,
shield, bounce off?
And then the bounce off, it would reflect and hit you. And so it just devolved into us yelling that back and forth for like one thing.
You know what's funny? I remember like losing a friend over playing Pokemon in
it's cutthroat.
School. Well, because it was like, I've got Rayquaza, and I was like, well, I've got Wobbuffet, and I've got Mirror Coat. I was like, yeah, Mirko beats whatever you're doing because it hits back at you. And he's like, no, extreme speed. And I'm like, Mirko hits you back. Mm-hmm.
We're such
Dude,
assholes. Dude.
I know. And it was like, this poor kid named Chase. He was an overweight child. It was in like middle school.
Stupid fatty.
No, nothing against him. It was just that he was trying to win with like an illogical choice or whatever.
You said Wobbuffet with Mirko.
Dude, I was like, yeah, I got Wobbuffet on my team because I love the little Team Rocket gags and stuff. I was like, he's actually OP. He's really cool. And he was, because it was recess. It was very cutthroat. It was very interesting.
Dude, in elementary school, shout out to Caleb. It was big with 4Kids TV, so we had like a Sonic club. And I wanted to be silver so bad, but like Javier told me I wasn't allowed to be silver.
Javier, dude.
He was a dick to me, dude. Him and Guadalupe. But
I have no clue who these people are.
Caleb knows. But anyway, they said, no, you can be Metal Sonic. And I said, this guy's lame. I don't want to be Metal Sonic, but all the other good choices have been chosen.
He's also a villain. Like, Silver's a good guy, right?
Yeah, I think he's like an anti-hero, which is weird to say about
he's not
Sonic.
the ultimate life form like Shadow. Who was Shadow?
I'm pretty sure that was Caleb.
Hell yeah, let's go.
But I couldn't even be Knuckles either. And I was just like, I don't want to be Metal Sonic. It's like it's almost as bad as Tails.
Yeah, poor Tails. He's just nothing.
Yeah,
he can fly.
The recess was cutthroat, dude. I'm telling you, we were too smart for our own good. Idiot, Mirko. Just picture.
I swear, I was, and he was like, "Why dodge that?" And I'm like, "You can't dodge it. It's like a one-hit thing. It's like a bounce off me hits you type thing." Idiot. It was really intense. He was like upset at me,
bro. I would be too if you just kept. I'd probably be like, "You can't use full force." You know the guy. I'd say, "You can't use that every time." Next time we'd have it, I would probably after recess be like, "Okay, look, we got to ban. We got to ban that move because it's just not fair, dude.
It's not fair. It's more fun to just hit each other."
And then you'd be like, "Well, you have to ban Rayquaza." You know, like we would have these meetings too, dude.
I remember we talked about Ben 10. Like we played Ben 10 a lot. Like
yes, dog.
And it would be like, "Oh yeah, well I'm picking forearms, so you can't be forearms this time."
We would have like a fight your imaginary friend things. It was almost like stands from JoJo.
It's awesome.
And I remember mine was like, well, mine is American Dragon Jake Long, so I have a dragon. You know. It's like, you can't have a dragon as an imaginary friend. Look at him. He's breathing fire right now. Come at him.
You're charred. You guys charred.
I remember one kid literally said, well, the new animation sucks. And I was like, mine's the old animation, American Dragon, okay?
That's really funny.
Dude, I'm telling you. Side note there, but.
That's really good. Yeah, anyway, good time. We'll dive back into the episode.
What were we even talking about?
I think we had mentioned Ultra Ben.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's where this whole started. I like his design. He's got the like goggles and the big like ear spikes.
He's really cool design. He's just short.
He's a little kid, you know. That's how it is. A loser. Tiny has that same little thing though. The ear things.
You notice Ragnarok, he has that same kind of thing where he
Ragnarok?
when he puts the helmet on, Thor, he gets his helmet
and
he does
yeah. Well, that's a reference to his little feathers, I guess.
Yeah, but it still does the same.
It looks pretty similar, yeah. Anyway, so Ultra
Ben is like smitten instantly.
I think
he sees the uniforms.
It's just because like earlier on he's like only superheroes get Chocolate Gwen.
Yeah.
And what sucks, like I know we've said this before, but like he's already learned the value of a team.
Yeah.
And here he is learning it again.
Yeah.
Granted, this is more like this is more subtle than it gets in the future.
Yeah.
Because
or in the past.
No, in the future because like he already learns the lesson to value Gwen and Grandpa.
Yeah.
And now he's like got the super team. He's a little bit more like he's sort of like
which he is better than all of them.
Oh, totally. Yeah, they're very
that fight in the pit. He's carrying everybody.
They're very like ineffective for the most part.
Very ineffective.
But
you think they're like the laughing stock of the like everyone's like, oh, send him over there.
I love the Ben 10,000 episode where it's like, can we please get a bit of that action? No. You guys suck.
Yeah, you can take him back to the jail and they're like, oh, great.
I'm pretty sure the only times we see him beyond this are when Vilgax beats him in season 3 maybe of Alien Force.
Yeah.
It's like the first time we see Vilgax come back, they're trying to stop him.
That's like the final season of Alien Force is with Vilgax.
Yeah, it's like it's the first episode though. You know what I mean? It's like when we see Vilgax reemerge.
Oh, right.
But I mean they could be hanging out with Ben in the future. I don't know. But they're protecting this galaxy, so they're like I guess they're going from planet to planet, whatever have you. Anyway, but yeah, they get mopped by Vilgax. Yeah. They get mopped by.
Their problem is they're too a stickler for the rules. They're quoting their holy Bible of rules of code and conduct.
Ultimos is like trying to get Ben to read it, and he's like, after the first like 6,000 pages, it gets pretty interesting.
Yeah, the first little bit's a little dry.
Yeah. Volcanus at one point goes, "I hate capes." It made me think of Edna Mode.
Yeah, no capes.
Ben trips on a cape, kind of.
Yeah, they're not really practical.
They're not practical, but they are cool.
They are cool.
If you fly around, I think some Superman iterations where he's like, "It helps me fly" or whatever.
Yeah,
but I don't
does
know
it
how
really?
true that is.
Yeah, you can argue that with Batman's cape. At least he glides with it.
That's true. It's more functional.
Which I saw a thing on Twitter that
Also, Batman like uses it for cloaking. Like, it's black, so he can just like blend into the shadow, kind of.
But I saw he could do the Thor Ragnarok, and he's like, "Not if I do."
Yeah.
And then you can't.
You can't tell who I am. No.
But you can already tell there's a disconnect because Ben or Grandpa Max and Gwen are civilians.
They're trying to help out too because Grandpa's a plumber. And
yeah, they should
like
recognize him.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't have that.
There's a fun moment. There's a fun connection because in the previous episode, Grudge Match, Ben gets beamed up to space with Kevin, and he says, "I definitely don't like that teleportation stuff." He's like, "Yeah, it feels gross." And then whenever Ben and Max and Gwen get teleported up to the ship in this episode, Max says, "I never liked that."
Yeah,
it's just funny. Like it's like a family thing. They both don't like this.
Makes me woozy.
Yeah. Do you think that like discombobulates you and like turns you back in it, or like
like completely atomizes you and puts you back together? That's terrifying to think of.
Or if it's a different thing, what do you think? How do you think the teleportation works?
I don't know. Like that makes the most sense. It could be just like a miniature black hole that they've gotten to work. Sounds a lot more
teleportation is the coolest thing ever, but I don't.
But it's also the most impractical thing you've ever heard in your life.
Right. I don't know if scientifically if it ever makes sense.
Yeah. You've got
Prestige. You ever seen that?
No.
That's good.
Well, it's like the best one that you like is like or the best one that makes sense is like in Jumper, you're jumping through. You know what I mean? So people can still go. It's like a scar. You know, they call it a jump scar. So it's actually like he's just making a teleport, like a.
Isn't it in Dragon Ball where he like goes to a different dimension? That's like what the touches the forehead and he can like sense someone else, but he goes to a different dimension. So it just looks like he went through time.
Maybe I didn't watch a lot of Dragon Ball.
Oh.
I watched the original Dragon Ball. I watched the first season of Dragon Ball Z. Couldn't get over that it was dubbed. And left. I know that's a big insult, but I just.
Well, no, Goku's voice is very different in the dub and the.
Yeah, he sounds more like a man in the dub, but at the same, he's voiced by a woman in the other one. But he just sounds off to me. I didn't like it. Well, maybe it's because I watched all of Dragon Ball subbed. It just sounded weird.
If you watch One Piece and then like subbed and then dubbed, like the voices are very similar.
Oh, really?
It helps a lot.
Yeah, it
sometimes
does.
You got to watch the dubs because they just come out or whatever.
I watched Attack on Titan dub. That's probably the best dub I've ever watched in my life.
I think I've heard people say it's bad. I think
really,
yeah, and I've heard people say My Hero has bad.
Oh, I hate My Hero's dub.
But they sound very similar to me.
I feel like Midoriya sounds way more whiny.
I think the dialogue is kind of sort of cringe, and I like the show. Don't get me wrong.
Like, great show.
I love the show, but like the dialogue is.
I think you get that just as a dub in general. The dub just sounds a little cringier than the sub,
in
my opinion.
But then you're reading the.
I'm okay with
dialogue too. I don't know.
You know, I'm okay with it.
Neither here nor there. Yeah. But I think there's characters in Ben 10 that teleport like that too. Well,
he's got an alien. Right, surely he has a teleporting alien. Why does he never get a teleporting alien?
It's not practical. It's not like an ability you would naturally get, right?
Look at Nightcrawler. Yeah, he's very practical with it.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good power.
Or his dad Azazel.
Yeah, Azazel.
He's sick.
He's red.
Yeah,
it's a demon.
Looks like a demon.
No, anyway, but the Flamekeeper Circle, the Dagon cult, that's how they get around. They teleport like by going into a different dimension and coming out at a different point.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're teleporting, but really they're just.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that.
Anyway, back to the ship where they're showing Ben around.
Which they don't even show anything. They just said, "Here's this book."
Yeah,
read
this huge book. They kind of show them like the Earth or the Moon or whatever they're looking at. But we don't see any more of the ship, really.
Yeah, and you can even tell then they just don't know what they're doing, really. They're like, well, we'll send these things out instead of us.
It's almost like you ever see South Park where he's like, I'm Captain Hindsight.
No, but that's really funny.
It's like a building burns down, and he comes down, and he's like, there should have been a fire escape here, or that lady wouldn't have died. There should have been a whatever fire extinguisher over here, and that would have helped put out the fire. But like he only comes after the situation.
I love that, dude.
So stupid. That's kind of how these guys feel. Like they're just sort of ineffective.
So ineffective.
Which I like a lot of their designs too.
Oh yeah, they look cool. All three of them.
Which we get a Brainy, the Synaptech. He's brainy.
He's kind of a dick.
He's sort of a mirror between like Brainstorm, like how Brainstorm acts.
Yeah.
And I kind of wonder. I wish we got some of the, like we could have gotten a Synaptech alien later in the future. Who cares?
I never really liked Brainstorm that much.
I liked him okay. I liked him because we didn't see him that much, so he was always like, no. I mean, hear me out. I was always like, oh yeah, Brainstorm could have totally done this. He could have came up with a way better idea, and Ben just didn't think of it because I was always like, I'm smarter than Ben. I could have picked the Brainstorm.
I'd hope you were smarter than Ben, honestly.
But those two races, the Galvin and the what are they called? Something pods or something.
Cephalopods.
Crustacean. Something. It'll come to me.
Okay.
Those
editor put it in.
Oh God. Okay. Those aliens and the Galvin have like a beef.
Oh really?
They're like they hate each other because they both think they're smarter than the other.
That's awesome.
So there's like this race war between the.
I feel like the crab people should win that one. They just eat them.
No, they don't. Their mouth. They don't. They communicate through telepathy. So they don't even. I think there's a part where Brainstorm throws up or something. That's when he opens his mouth because he's like getting car sick or something. Anyway,
the villains. Let's talk about the villains a little bit.
6-6 and
so they like 6-6 must have broken out of prison or whatever.
Oh, that's interesting too. I was gonna say, do you think they broke out of Incarsicon that we see in Secret of the Omnitrix?
Ooh,
remember that whole planet where it's
if
just
anyone
like,
could, I think 6-6 could.
He probably just wasn't that where he was in the movie too, or
maybe
Vilgax
probably that's how he met him. 6-6 was like, I need muscle. I'm gonna break out, but I'll bring you with it. 6-6 seems to have an answer for literally everything. In this entire episode, you see him. He's always got an answer for whatever he's fighting.
His
tech
at that time. Is like way upgraded.
Yeah, and he pulls out the little creepy hands that throw bombs.
He's throwing bombs and
he's
shooting.
I'd be like, someone cut those off, dude. Cut them off.
I love that he's like he doesn't talk for most of it, and I'm like maybe he's just like above Volcanus, like he just thinks he's better than him.
Yeah,
and then eventually he's like yelling at him. He's like, rah, rah, rah.
I love it. Also, it's like Volcanus is his mouthpiece because he'll talk to him. He'll go, right, I know we have to do, and then exposition dump, and I'm just like, Volcanus, shut up, dude.
You can just say, okay, boss.
Like, yeah, like he literally just says verbatim. I'm assuming what 6-6 is saying, you know.
Also, something that bugs me a little bit. They say that 6-6 and Volcanus were hired to get Element X and the Byzantium alloy and put them together and explode the Milky Way.
Oh, I missed that.
They said they were hired to do it. That's what the Galactic Enforcers said. So I don't know who hired them. We don't get that.
Could have been Vilgax.
Could have been Kevin.
I doubt Kevin's got the money or the knowledge.
Well,
I do not think it's Kevin at all. Maybe Ben 10,000's Kevin.
Well, Vilgax.
Remember Ben 10,000's Kevin 11?
Oh yeah, he's bad.
He was insane, dude.
And he absorbed a lot of stuff.
He did a lot.
He had so much that it was just like big tentacles at that point.
Yeah, but he came out like fully humanoid, and then he just. Whoa.
That's something that I kind of don't. I like those episodes,
yeah.
Ken 10 and Ben 10,000, but they force the team behind the show to like try to fit all that into continuity.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't make sense because Ben 10,000 changes anyway.
Yeah.
Like Kevin has like there's a part in Omniverse where Kevin gets the little scar on his chin, and it's like that's not the same Kevin.
Yeah.
This Kevin is not turning bad. This is a good Kevin now.
The good guy.
Strong Kevin.
Yeah.
Good Kevin. So anyway, that's sort of frustrating. Ben canonically marries Kai from the werewolf episode.
Oh no!
I don't like that. No one likes that.
Yeah.
But like for some reason they just like force it in Omniverse.
Yeah.
She comes back
where's
and
Julie?
He
Julie.
breaks up with her on accident. So stupid.
Did they get back together after that? I can't remember.
No, it's in Omniverse. He breaks up with her on accident.
Oh.
He's playing a video game and he's like,
"Oh,
you stupid piece of crap! I hate you!" And Julie's like, Ben. I'm sorry. What did I do? And he's like, I'm finished. And he like throws the controller on the ground. And he's like, are you still there, Julie? But she thinks he broke up with her.
Oh my god, dude! Did they ever get back together?
No, she's dating some like photographer guy or some other guy.
This is the things I don't want to watch Omniverse for.
No, it's characterization mostly. It's like Ben would never do like Alien Force season 1, season 2. Ben would never let that happen.
Yeah,
but then it's all corporate mandate to make him sillier and more child friendly. That's the whole character. Assassination that is the rest of Ben 10.
Yeah,
and even we see it a little bit in this. Like we were talking about, like this, he kind of learned the lesson that Grandpa and Gwen are useful.
Yeah.
Even though
they said we got to go help them when they're getting their butts kicked in the pit, which we'll talk about that fight scene a little bit. But they get down there just for Ben to save them, and they get knocked out from Ben saving them.
Oh, we get some cool Accelerate stuff.
Oh, Accelerate! We were talking about Accelerate's just bomb, dude. You know,
this is like maybe the second time ever we've seen Accelerate's transformation.
Yeah,
and it's very like I don't know why they didn't like Accelerate's transformation. Never feels good.
Yeah,
in the first
this one it feels a little too CGI-ish.
Well, it like morphs weird. Like normally it's like the character like turning into him. This felt like a computer effect that was like rubbing. It's like smeared across his face.
Yeah,
and what's cool though is he's in his Galactic Enforcer's uniform when he transforms, so it's sort of like a nice continuity thing.
Yeah.
Normally we don't see that. Normally it's just like, Ben in the white and black shirt.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, they're fighting Volcanus and 6'6". They're trying to harvest the alloy or whatever.
Yeah, which is just iron.
Did they say that?
Yeah, they did. They're like, they're in an iron ore pit.
Nice. And I think this takes place in was it Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh.
So that's cool. We get a little location for
finally
get a location.
Well, sometimes we get locations.
It depends.
It's hit or miss.
Sometimes, most of the time when they're in the city, they don't really like to specify, but except for New York, they specified that. But anyway, so they're fighting in this kind of like rock pit. It looks just like the Hunted episode, which is funny because normally we don't get canon like details.
Yeah.
But Grandpa make sure to say like that's the time that Ben got hunted by the bounty hunters. Remember?
Yeah. They dropped that a little bit, which we like because we like 6'6".
Oh, I love 6'6".
He's awesome.
I would like to see more Crab too. Obviously, Tetrax, right?
Yeah.
I would like him more too, but he
we
shows
see
up.
him in the movie.
Yeah, he shows up once and then he comes back for the Secret of the Omni Chick.
Yeah.
The fight scene though, it looks like it just takes place in Hunted. Like it's the same exact setting. It's just like a pit.
We still got some old drawings.
Yeah, might as well. 6'6" was in here. They might have had some reused animation. Speaking of reused animation, there's a part where 6'6" drops like a bomb or like an electroshock on forearms.
Yes.
And then like when the Galactic Forces show up and beat him, it's like the exact same animation.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
But it's like a flash grenade.
Yeah.
And
that's the alien superhero squad.
Yeah,
you see Beta Ray Bill here soon.
Shut the hell up! I'll kill you.
Which I don't know. You showed the footage. It's not even a plunger. It's a toilet scrubber, which is even worse.
No, plunger's worse than a toilet scrubber. At least that's like abrasive. That can like scrape poo off the side. A plunger, you got to like make this motion and like you're making that noise.
You personally are making that noise.
Oh yeah.
But their big lesson they learn is don't go by the book by everything. Kind of free ball it a little bit. Ultimo is just like Ultimos. I gotta combine those. He was like, "Oh, this is so fun! We're going
free."
Yeah, and then he just dodge out of the way not to get hit.
Which Tom Kane, I think he's famous from Star Wars. Like you mentioned, he's
the narrator for Clone Wars.
He's every episode. In the Galactic Senate.
Yeah. Oh, dude. As soon as he spoke in here, I was like, "Hey, that guy." Yep. Oh, I saw him.
It's a great voice.
It is.
It's like really the perfect Superman voice almost.
Like if Optimus Prime wasn't him, what's his name?
Peter Cullen.
If it wasn't Peter Cullen, I'd want him as Optimus Prime.
I could see it.
I would definitely see it.
But yeah, he's Ultimos. He's got like laser eyes.
He does. He's got freeze breath.
Freeze breath. He can fly. I guess he's got super strength.
Yeah,
he's
basically
cool.
Superman.
He says he's like, I'm the best life form. Or I'm the ultimate life form.
Yeah. A little on the nose, Ultimos.
We're not sure about his eyes. Like his eyes either look like they have a mask on, like a Green Lantern mask, or it is just like that. Yeah. Which is an alien, so it could go either way.
Why would you need a mask?
That's true. An alien? Nobody else has masks.
I'm pretty sure Hal Jordan gets bullied all the time in the Green Lantern Corps because like, why do you wear a mask?
Take that dumb mask off.
Yeah,
idiot.
He's like, I need it.
It's cool, guys. Tiny hits on forearms
all the time.
Weird.
Yeah. Even after she realizes he's a kid.
How old is she?
And Synaptic is jealous of it. It's like, bro, it's a 10-year-old.
Can he even do physical things?
Yeah.
He's a big brain with tentacles.
I don't think I want to get into that. You already said tentacles. It's just not.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. I do like his design, though.
Oh, super cool. Big, beefy.
He's got like chunky tentacles. You don't see that a lot. And it's like white and yellow, almost like the Cannonbolt
almost
effect.
Like the dolphin.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking
about. Or
Upgrade.
I thought Upgrade when he was running.
Yeah.
Super cool designs. We get several fight scenes. You see Ben pretty much carrying in almost all of them.
Well, it sucks because like they're pretty ineffective. Like they're not working together really as a team. Like they're just kind of. I mean, there's some like combos like Synaptic will throw them up and Ultimus will punch them down.
Yeah, and that's even in the final fight when they're like learning to work together. They're not working together. You'll see Synaptic save the day at least 3 different times. He'll and he'll like have to move
shoot
something.
A beam.
Yeah,
his powers are a whole different set. Like
he's carrying the team.
Telekinesis. He's got telepathies. He can like shoot a hurtful beam.
Yeah.
He like puts a force field up at one point.
Whatever he needs to do that you think is a mental power, he has it.
I guess he's got it. He's pretty OP.
Yeah. You get Cannonbolt in the final fight, which was really sick. And we both mentioned it. Instead of rolling up when he gets the Element X,
he like rolls.
He's just running. And you see a little tubby toes.
It's fun. He's a ball, and then he like comes out of a ball to grab it, and then it's hot, so I guess he doesn't want to like roll up in a ball with it to burn his face or something. So he's just like, ooh.
And then he's just running, and his little toes are going. Boop,
it's so funny.
So funny.
And there's a whole bit like 6'6" like shoots a rope at his legs, shoots a rope at his legs, and it just like trips him immediately because he's got stubby legs.
Yeah, he's like he's all top heavy.
He's all very top heavy. Gwen and Grandpa, they come down to act like they're going to save the day at one point. They don't do nothing.
Yeah, and then they help in the end mess up the ingredient, is what Gwen says.
Yeah,
it's like baking a cake. It's like, there's 2 ingredients. What are you messing up? You just removing the lava?
They needed like the ore to get heated up, and they're going to put it with the X. But like, who wants them to blow up the whole Milky Way?
It's more of a deterrent. It's like if you own all the launch codes to a nuclear bomb.
No, but they're making it. Like they're in the process.
Well, it's
of
not going to
combining
blow it up. It just primes it for detonation.
Oh, interesting.
So then they say, hey, we've got this. Give us everything we want, or we'll blow this up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, I still want to know. Like, that's still a piece of inconsistency for me. Like, who hired them to? I know this is like.
It could have been anyone in the galaxy.
I guess so.
It could have been the Repo brothers.
The Vredels.
I hate them.
I like the Vredels.
I hate them so
I like
much.
them.
You mean like Ma Vredel too?
Yeah. She has like a bunch of little pretty boy babies.
Yeah, dude.
Vilgax and I think it's
they
either
become plumbers at one point.
Yeah, they try to, and like Kevin's like, "Come on, guys, what are you doing?" And they're just like, "I guess we are heroes, okay." And then they just revert right back.
We promised Ma, or was it Pa? One of them.
Yeah, one of them.
That we'd be plumbers.
I think Paul was the good one, and Ma was the bad one. But they're clones too, so they can they can just die as many times as they need to. They'll just keep getting cloned. Anyway. We never see any superhero stuff like this again. Like, this episode makes you think the Galactic Enforcers are like a big thing. Like, oh, we're saving the Milky Way. Never again. We see the Vilgax thing like we were talking about.
I think that's the problem with Ben 10 as a whole, at least with Ben 10 Classic. There's no continuity every episode. You see some with the villains, but other than that, almost everything is contained.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
which sucks, but it's cool at the same time. But it's like, I want to see more of this, and then we don't.
I think ultimately, like you're talking about, Alien Force and into Ultimate Alien, like that sort of beefs up the universal stuff.
Yes.
And even like Bellwood seems like a small town, like a small suburban town.
Yeah. And
then it's like by Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, it's like this huge New York City type place.
Yeah.
It's weird. Anyway, so there's not really a whole lot of context, but
I just like that Ben was by the end of this disenfranchised with the whole. He called him a bunch of whack jobs at the end.
He's like, yeah,
which has been kind of covering. He likes his family. He likes sticking with them, and he doesn't probably want to go in outer space without them.
No, and it also makes I mean, he could have called him at certain points, like when Kevin and Vilgax team up. That might be prime time to get extra help.
Probably, but then you see the Ben arrogance of I can take him on myself.
I guess, and it's also he has master control, so he's probably
like, oh, good luck getting the master control. Vilgax like, I will literally have that within the first 5 minutes.
I've studied this for years. What are you, dumb?
Yeah, I can turn it off on you. You think I can't turn on master control?
Such an idiot.
Yeah, stupid. Mirror reflect.
Yeah, mirror coat.
Yeah, mirror coat.
I don't even think that's what that does.
I don't think it is. Oh, it's so good. I mean, I said shield bounce off all the time. Mom would get mad at us because we'd be in the house just yelling, and all she'd hear for 30 minutes, shield bounce off of the whatever move one of us used. You know what I mean?
What's funny is you watch the anime, and then like it's nothing like the game. The fights.
Yeah.
And so, like, I remember my cousin and I would play Pokemon sometimes, and he would just go, okay, dodge. And when I would say something, he's like, dodge that. Like, after everything, he's like, okay, I haven't got hit once.
Yeah, we'd have meetings where, like, okay, you have, like, 3 dodges. Like, you can only call dodge, like, 3 times. Because this is getting us nowhere.
Yeah, maybe if your speed's higher than mine, but we're not getting into all that.
Yeah, we'd have to race for that, and I don't want to do all that right now.
I'm not doing all that, yeah.
I beat you, but...
Okay. But I do like the costumes they have, like the yellow, and they have like this little like pillar. They're.
He goes, I want to show you something. Points right at his junk. Hey, now, he's a minor. You better chill out. Don't look down at it. Just press it, and then we'll go teleport. Okay? You don't have to look. And the camera zoomed in on it too. You're just like,
pretty funny. It was very like. Ooh, there's a lot of this like with Tiny too. It's like we can maybe think that like I think okay. Here's my real thought. Right. I think originally the aliens were just like the prime version, so it was like the perfect age, the perfect whatever. But then in Alien Force, obviously, like the aliens grow up, like they get taller, they get better abilities, whatever. Swamp, we see that a lot in Swamp Fire. In Omniverse, he kind of has like a bloom form because he gets older. But I don't think originally they had that intention. I think originally it was like, what are the aliens?
They're grown up aliens.
Maybe not as creepy for Tiny to be hitting on him. However, it is weird that Tiny and Synaptic get together.
Yeah, it's all weird.
Oh yeah,
she just kept doing it after she figured it out.
She was like, I gotta protect you. She like tries to save him, and then she gets like,
can you turn into that guy again?
Hey, buddy.
you got a little Tetra in you right now.
Volcanus hates Tetramans. That's a funny little detail.
Man, this really is a backwater planet.
It's a cesspool. What is a cesspool?
It's always Earth. It's the cesspool, dude.
What is a cesspool in the first place?
like a pool of grossness.
Oh.
Think about if you ever seen a tire in the back, and it's
a tire in the back.
Well, like if you ever go to
like a Jeep?
if you ever walk in like the woods or something, you just see a random tire and it's full of water with like mosquitoes and it's gross and spider webs. That's a cesspool.
That's a fun word.
Yeah.
Cesspool.
Yeah.
It really communicates the idea too.
Yeah, gross.
Cesspool.
You just know it's gross.
Ugh.
Like when you say goop, ugh,
Goop.
gross, disgusting.
But that's funny. So, and I like to imagine racist Volcanus is like there's 2 Tetramans here now.
Ew.
Oh, she does a cool thing too. She claps.
Oh, and she controls it. It's like a
It's like a very beam. Yeah, it's like a very cool move. I think because Ben does that later in the show.
Yeah.
There's a part where Forearms throws missiles back at 6'6".
That is cool.
That's very dope. I love when because how does that work?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it just explode on
When they
contact?
unless they're timed.
It must be timed, or maybe he's like controlling with his mind or something.
Yeah.
6'6" had a lot of missiles.
Yeah.
And he had like a little like burst attack.
He's like Iron Man.
He is like Iron Man or like Boba Fett, but cool.
Yeah. Boba Fett's not cool.
He was cool at first. Now he's not cool.
I'm gonna be real with you. I never thought he was cool.
I thought he was cool and like because when you don't know like a lot about him, you're like, oh, what is this guy's deal?
Yeah.
It's very mysterious, cool.
But then once you realize who he is, you're like, kind of a loser.
Oh, they mentioned that the child, like a child, does have the Omnitrix, which is good continuity because the whole galaxy saw him fight in the Mega Cruiser. In the
and
last
with
episode.
Tetrax and any other aliens that's visited Earth, they're like, hey, I just got my ass whooped by a person with the Omnitrix.
10-year-old.
Yeah, with the Omnitrix.
That's cool continuity. I mean, we don't normally get a ton of continuity, but at least like the word is spreading for Ben 10.
Yeah.
He eats chocolate Ultimos and he gets poisoned.
It's like your weakness is copper. From Megamind.
Oh, yeah.
Or there's another one there was like this superhero movie on Disney Channel, and the kid never got his superpowers or whatever, and he just never did. Their weakness is tinfoil.
Oh.
Yeah, he pretended to have powers, and so someone was throwing him like a tinfoil ball, and his brother picked it up and was like, oh.
Tinfoil.
He's like, you gotta remember, we're weak to this.
You say, I'm tinfoiled. I've been tinfoiled.
I hate you so much.
What is this show you called?
I can't remember what it's called.
Weird.
But he was pretending he never got his powers. They name drop like Spider-Man.
They do?
Yeah, and Mr. Fantastic, I'm pretty sure. Like Spider-Man and Mary Jane were over. Do you have any idea? Do you have any way of getting spider webs out of the carpet?
Oh, that's weird.
It is weird now that I'm thinking about it.
They mentioned him. Did they get permission?
I don't know.
They probably didn't.
Probably not.
It's funny how you can just watch shows like that as a kid and you're like,
oh, it makes sense. Yeah. Spider-Man's there.
It's like Spider-Man and Batman could just be friends.
Yeah, someone could say that and I'd be like, oh. Now I'd be like, idiot thinks they're in the same universe.
Dumb.
God.
Dumb.
A mirror coat, please.
There was also a moment where Ben uses reverse psychology on the smartest creature on the planet. Like,
oh yeah, only I can save Tiny, and he goes. You could probably just say, "Hey, can you save Tiny?" and he would have done it.
No, he's like, "Oh, I'm too tired, sleepy. My head got bounced off the floor a minute ago."
He goes, "Ba-doing." No, that was at the final fight too.
It was. I like all these characters, but yeah, they're pretty ineffective.
Yeah,
because Volcanus and 6'6", like later on granted when 6'6" first shows up, he's a big threat.
Yeah,
and even in this episode, he's a big threat. And Volcanus as well. Volcanus is like dipping his hands into the lava.
Yeah,
like Craig Robinson from Pineapple
warm.
Express.
Still warm.
He pulls his hands out. He's like, ha ha ha. He's like, feels good.
At one point, he still got him in there, and he's like, "Is that Craig? They ain't in here, Craig."
No, he goes, he's like, hey, Matheson.
Oh yeah, they ain't here, Matheson.
He's like smoking weed.
I love that we've had so many banger episodes back to back to back.
I know. Oh,
we didn't see what was coming next.
This episode, what's coming next? I don't have a clue. Oh, Camp Fear.
Yeah,
we get Plant Man.
Yeah, we get. Oh, yeah, so we get.
I'm excited.
We got Wildvine.
Isn't it great? We put Wildvine in.
It's S tier. Yeah, he is S tier. Okay. I stand by it.
I think so. I mean, he's my favorite. He's one of my.
Yeah.
As a kid, he was my favorite alien, probably.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's probably like Forearms.
No, it was Diamond Head for me even back then. Or Accelerate. I really loved Speed even back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Speed's such an OP power.
Yeah. It's so good.
Anyway.
But yeah, thanks for coming on, guys. Tune in next Monday. We'll have the next episode with Camp Fear.
Camp Fear.
And
we're shutting through them too. This is episode 7 coming up.
Yeah, coming up. And tune in on Fridays. We'll have Camp Half-Blood with our Percy Jackson reviews. And every Wednesday we got a little fun video come out. Stay tuned. We may or may not.
If you have anything you want us to talk about, leave it in the comments.
We've gotten recommendations for
Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot several times from several very enthusiastic people, not just one person.
Okay.
Over and over.
If you say so.
And over again.
You know, we could watch that season 1 and be like, here's season 1 of this.
Yeah.
And then we could.
But anyone else, second comment question: what would you guys like us to watch?
We're probably doing Invincible as well when that comes out. I don't know when that's supposed to come out.
We'll be doing Monarch too. We got a bunch of stuff coming up, so throw something else in the pot, and we'll take a look at it.
I guess we're gonna hit The Boys.
That's June 13th, I think, is what they said.
Oh, good. Okay, so we got time.
So we got some time.
Now, making content, I'm like, oh, thank God, there's time.
Yeah,
there's I got so much to do.
But at the same time, there's no time.
That's true, no time.
But yeah, until then, guys, we'll see you later.